What's up? This is Alex Shu coming at you with another episode. This episode I want to talk about Abomination of desolation. That's prophesied in Daniel 9. It's fulfilling right now because Donald Trump has torn down the east wing of the White House. That's it. Because in Daniel 9, it's talking about there's abomination on one wing, you know? And a lot of Israel Jews, they think it's about the one wing of the temple, but there's no Jewish temple yet, right? It has to be some sort of building, a very important building, and on one wing, abomination of desolation is going to occur. It's Donald Trump's new pleasure palace, the 1,000 people ballroom. Okay, but before I talk about that, I want to tell you, my name is Alex Shu. I'm the guy who invented physical mortality rings. These are rings that you put on your small fingers during sleep. You wear them, you don't age anymore, become physically immortal. For example, I'm already 54. You know, in 3 months, I'll be 55. Look at me, I'm still skinny, right? Still pretty healthy, right? If you go to my website, livemuchlonger.com, you can see lots of testimonials from Amazon customers. Most of them give me 4-star, 5-star. So if you're interested, you want to look like me when you're 55, livemuchlonger.com, livemuchlonger.com. Link is at the bottom of this video. Anyway, yeah. In Daniel chapter 9 and also Daniel chapter 5, okay, it was promised that someone's going to do something sacrilegious. Someone is going to bring abomination on one side of the building, one wing of the building, right? Daniel chapter 5, talking about Belshazzar is going to invite 1,000 guests to a ballroom. And the ballroom that Donald Trump is building right now can house exactly 1,000 people, right? So Daniel chapter 5 is fulfilling. And then another one is Daniel chapter 9. But Daniel chapter 9 is a little complicated, so I'm going to show you a clip, okay, to explain, how it happens. Well, I guess everybody heard the news, right? I mean, Donald Trump has demolished the east wing of the White House in order to build his ballroom. Yeah, they say the ballroom could hold 1,000 people, okay? And Donald Trump is going to decorate it, luxuriously with gold leaf. All the crown molding would be gold. Everything would be gold. He loves gold. And, this is Daniel. Okay, Daniel the prophet was talking about Donald Trump, man. In Daniel 5, right? Daniel chapter 5, he was Belshazzar held a banquet, right? He invited 1,000 of his nobles to the banquet. And then he brought out the cups from the temple of Jerusalem, right? And, his wives, his concubine, they drank wine from the cup of the, that was brought from, the vault of Jerusalem, and then he saw the writing on the wall, right? That's Daniel 5. And also Daniel chapter 9 was talking about another prophecy, which is very important, okay? And that one also prophesied Donald Trump. I'll tell you why, okay? Anyway, this is the whole chapter 9 prophecy, the 70 weeks.
70 weeks are decreed about your people and your holy city, to finish the transgression, to put an end to sin, and to atone for iniquity, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to seal both vision and prophet, and to anoint a most holy place. Know therefore and understand that from the going out of the word to restore and build Jerusalem, to the coming of an anointed one, a prince, there shall be 7 weeks. Then for 62 weeks it shall be built again with squares and moat.
Okay, 70 weeks is 70 weeks, okay? to seal the vision. It says, from the time to declare Jerusalem to the capital and to rebuild Jerusalem, right? Until the Messiah come, it would be 70 weeks. That's what it means, okay? So if you look at here, right here, 77s, that's 70 weeks, right? But you know what? A year in prophecy, okay, a year is also a 7. The reason is because in Hebrew, right, in a Jewish holiday, there's a holiday called Shavuot, and inside Shavuot there's a 7. You know, Sheba. Inside the word Shavuot there's a 7. Shavuot it's a holiday that celebrates the Torah, okay, the creation of the Torah. So that Shavuot itself is also a 7. So a 7 could be a year, okay? So right here we have 77s. So that's 777, am I right? 70 is 70. Sevens is 2 sevens. So you're talking about 777, right? But just like what I said, a 7 could be a year. So right now 77 is actually 77 years, okay? Based on my theory now. And then Daniel said, okay, from the time to rebuild, to proclaim Jerusalem and also to rebuild it until the day of the Messiah, it's 7 sevens. So now we're talking about 777, am I right? 7 sevens. 7 is singular, okay? And then sevens right here, sevens is plural. So again, we have 777. Which also could mean 77 years. Okay? So same thing. So when did they proclaim Jerusalem and when did they decree to regain Jerusalem, to proclaim Jerusalem capital and to rebuild it? I tell you, it's 1950. After they sort of won the war, okay, against all the Muslims near, in the neighborhood. In 1950, January of 1950, Israelis declared that Jerusalem is their capital. That's in 1950. So 1950 plus 77, that's 2027. Okay, 2027 now. Just like the Pope prophecy. See, if you read the prophecy of the popes, the Catholic Church prophecy, they also say 2027 is the end time. And then 62 sevens. 62 sevens is actually 62 plus 2 sevens. Am I right? 60. So that's 69 years. 62 plus 7 is 69, right? And then it says sevens. So there's another 7. That's year. So 69 years. Okay, and then it says, but when it reaches 62 sevens, which means 69. Okay, so you count from 1950 plus 69, it's 2019. It says 2019, there's going to be trouble. There are going to be squares and moats. Squares means they round people up. Moats means that there's like a fence, right? Moat is a wall. So what happened in 2019? There's COVID, right? COVID-19. So just like everywhere, Jerusalem, everywhere, United States, China, Jerusalem, everywhere, they don't allow people to move around, They basically, they put up all the walls. Quarantine, it's basically they quarantine all the people, am I right? So, okay, let's go on.
An anointed one shall be cut off and shall have nothing.
So also in the year in 62 sevens, okay, which is 2019, the anointed one shall be cut off and will have nothing. That's Donald Trump because remember they news reporter asked Donald Trump, "Who are you?" And Donald Trump he he turned around and he beg. He turned around and he looked at the sky and he with his two hands up. He said, "I am the chosen one." Remember, he said that too. Donald Trump said that. Remember that? So he's the chosen one. He's the anointed. In 2019, he lost the election, right? So he got cut off and have nothing. Am I right?
And the people of the prince who is to come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. Its end shall come with a flood, and to the end there shall be war. Desolations are decreed. And he shall make a...
So right after he did that, okay? Right after he did that and Joe Biden took over, right? And what happened? There, like 3 years later, Israel fell into a war, right? Israel, Hamas, and then Israel also had a small war with Iran and all sorts of places,
Strong covenant with many for 1 week, and for half of the week he shall put an end to sacrifice and offering. And on the wing of abominations shall come one who makes desolate.
There you go. This is the most important. This is the most important. Okay. And on the wing of abominations shall come one who makes desolate. Look, he said, in the middle of the week, okay, he shall put an end to sacrifice and offering. Look, right now the government shut down, right? So a lot of people, they're not going to receive their Section 8 benefits. A lot of people, they're not going to receive their food stamps, right? And also on the wing of abominations. You know what Donald Trump is doing right now, right? He has demolished the east wing of the White House. Am I right? He demolished the east wing of the White House and he's building a big ballroom. And that ballroom is abomination, okay? What does abomination mean? Abomination means you show tremendous disrespect. That's what it means. For example, let's say if you go to a Jewish temple, right? If you go to any temple, if you go to a mosque, like for the Muslims, or a Jewish synagogue, or a Jewish temple, or whatever, and you kill a pig, you slaughter a pig inside the mosque, or you slaughter a pig inside the synagogue, that's abomination, okay? Because pork is not allowed, right? In Judaism, in Islam, pork is not allowed, right? And when Donald Trump demolished the East Wing and built his own pleasure palace, okay, which is the ballroom, right? And a lot of people are not happy with it. A lot of American citizens scolded him. Lots of Americans criticize him. They're not happy about it, about his pleasure palace. Am I right? So, tearing down the East Wing to build his ballroom is abomination. Okay, it's sacrilegious. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's sacrilegious. It's abomination.
Until the decreed end is poured out on the desolator.
So basically, this prophecy is coming true. Daniel chapter 9 is talking about Donald Trump. Okay. In 2019, you add 1 plus 7 is 8 years. Am I right? 2019, you add 1/7, that's 8 years. So 2019 plus 8 is 2027. Am I right? So we're very near. Donald Trump is building a ballroom at the, demolished the East Wing and building a ballroom Yeah, prophecy of Daniel is coming true, man. Anyway, that's all I want to say. Have a nice day.